Hello, everyone. I'm Queen Kareem. Right now, I'm just Evan. So, the purpose of this video is when I started doing drag 2.5 years ago, I did not know shit about makeup. Literally nothing. And I honestly still don't. Everything I've learned from just friends giving me stuff, walking into Ulta and being like, ooh, I want to buy that. That looks like something I can put on my face and it'll work. So, the purpose of this video is to kind of roast my makeup. I'm essentially just gonna get into drag and I want you guys in the comments to be like, girl, that is not how you fucking put on foundation or something like that. I don't know, because I don't know. I just don't know. I find YouTube tutorials on makeup kind of overwhelming when you just have no idea what the products are they're talking about. So I feel like this could be kind of a crash course 101 into makeup. I know my makeup isn't the worst and I've definitely gotten better over the years, but I also know for a fact there's things I'm doing wrong and could use some improvement on. So I'm gonna go shave and glue down my eyebrows, and I'll be right back. So now that I am all shaved and my face is washed, we're ready to glue down some eyebrows. So all I use is some washable Elmer's glue. This is one of the beefy thick sticks, but I mean the little ones work just as well. I use one of these kinds of brushes, specifically this end. As you can see, she's a little used already, but I have 10 of these, So I'm gonna start, and I'm literally just gonna, from the bottom, just go in there with all this glue. Look at that, and then, yep, it just kind of gets in there real nice. Get all the spots, Oh yeah. Lots and lots of glue, and we're gonna do hella layers of this, obviously, so. And then only for this first layer do I take the comb and we push all that shit up in its natural direction, baby. At least that's how I have been found out to do my eyebrows. And I have pretty thick eyebrows, so and also keep in mind, this is not a tutorial. This is me just simply explaining my method, and maybe I'm nailing it, and some people who want to do drag makeup are like, oh, so that's how you do that, cool. Or I am doing it atrociously wrong, and somebody in the comments can be like, here's how you do it, baby. Oh, honey, beauty is pain. All right, so now that I have those brows pointing up, let's do it on the other side. I kind of do a circular motion to really get it all up in there. There we go. Okay. And now that we have that first layer of glue down and all the hairs are pushed up with that comb, I'm gonna take a makeup wipe, wrap it around my finger a little bit, and wipe off the excess on top. When I do my drag makeup sometimes, I always have an issue where I'm like, why is it so splotchy or patchy? And you can really see the glue. And I think it's because I was just getting too rambunctious with the glue everywhere and not wiping it. So when I put on the makeup and every time I smooth out another layer, more glue is just sort of going up in there, and it creates the patchiness, and we don't want that. So we want to make sure that the glue is only applied to the actual hairs and not the skin surrounding. So I am taking a makeup wipe and cleaning up all the excess, and I'm gonna do that in between each layer. Really smooth her out here. Oh yeah. So now in between layers of glue, you gotta wait for it to really dry. So 2 methods you can use to kind of speed that up if you're in a hurry is hair dryer on cool, kind of away from the face and just kind of like, whoop. Or you could use one of these bad boys. Work. I can see that it's like still sticky and we just want kind of tacky at most. So it's still gotta dry a little bit more. So now that this layer of glue is pretty much dry, we're going in with another one. And this time, because I'm not gonna be using the comb, instead of going all over the place, I'm only gonna be going upward like that. Because we want the hairs to stay in that position. So we're only gonna glue going up now. So then I'll take my fingers and just kind of smooth it up, baby. Oh yeah. Smooth it up, smooth it down. Really make sure that glue is in there. Don't want big clumps like that. And then see all this mess? Makeup wipe. Makeup wipe comes in and cleans that shit up. I'm kind of almost using my nail underneath the wipe to like scrape it, you know, because we really don't want any of that excess, just what's in the actual hairs. Okay, y'all, so I want to try something new. Never tried this before. I have seen queens put glue on their like sideburns area and glue down those too to help the wig go on, and I've never done it, so I think I'm just gonna try it today and see what happens. Oh, yep, this is, oh, Jesus Christ, yep. Glue just right on in my hair like that. Wild. This is a wild method. I hope it works, because if not, I'm just going to be very uncomfortable for a while. Here's the chin. Let's just back. This is going to be absolute bonkers. Drag is such a wild art form. Like, why are we doing this ourselves? I don't know, but I can tell you that it's fun as fuck. When it's all said and done, there's really wild steps to get to that. We'll do another layer in the brows. Look at those forehead wrinkles, baby. Smooth up. Wipe the excess, wipe the excess. Always wipe the excess. Because it will sabotage you later, I promise. I guess we're also going to layer on my sideburns too. Because why the fuck not? I feel like kindergarten teachers hate drag. Let it dry. Layer 4. Whenever I do drag, I do at least 4 layers, like minimum. And if that sounds excessive, it's fucking not, because any hairs that are not very severely glued down will come back to bite you, and it will be so apparent, and it sucks. And when you really think about it, we're going to be putting so much stuff on top of the brows that the like more layers is not going to hurt, as long as we're good about cleaning up the excess and stuff, because we need that shit packed down. Okay, I will probably only do 2 layers on my sides because I kind of don't know what I'm doing in that regard. And I don't want to make a giant mess if I don't have to. So I feel like if I just do just 2 layers, just kind of test the waters of how that works, that'll be okay. Eyebrows. right, but this final layer of glue, 5th layer, I know it can be the final one because when I put it on, there's not really any interruptions, you know, like none of the hairs go against the glue. It all seems to apply really smoothly. And when you feel the glue, it like literally feels like it's locked in there. Like those hairs just are not going anywhere. And another test is if I can glue in a downward motion against like the grain and nothing moves, it's a great sign because that means that shit is locked and it probably won't become undone when I put makeup and shit on top. Wipe the excess. Always wipe the excess. And as the layers go on, there becomes less and less excess too, since it's not really mandatory to like, ugh, you just kind of boop. So while this last layer is drying, along with my sideburns being dry, I'm gonna put on my primer. I did not put on my primer right after I washed my face because I did so much wiping up here and up here of the excess that what would be the point, because I would just be wiping off all that primer, and even to scrape down like this, it would just wipe right off. So now we're gonna do the primer. I have been using this e.l.f. Hydrating face primer for a while now, and I like it. I don't have any complaints, but I don't know, maybe there's better out there. So I'll just put like a little bit on my 2 fingers and just sort of, yeah, rub that all around, create a nice, nice canvas to work on here shortly. Oh yeah, that's part of it. And this is another kind of like a little bit of a long way situation. So you don't want to go too crazy with it. Now it's like really sweat it out. It's not fucking, I guess we're in. All right. And now we'll kind of let that sit for a little bit to kind of bake in. All right, so now that the primer's on, I am going to color correct my beard in the shadow with some orange concealer. This one is my favorite brand ever, Maybelline Master Camo orange color correcting pens. I love these. I've been using them literally since I started drag 2.5 years ago. And I've tried a few other orange concealers, and this one's just my favorite. I love it. I don't know. It's just pretty. You know, it's got this little brush. Kind of just scrape it right on there. You know, blend it all out and about. And now I've always seen queens be like, you don't need to go crazy and like orange color your whole beard, but I feel like I do because I have really thick hair, and even shaving with an electric razor and like a regular razor, this is how much shadow is still visible. So yeah, I feel like I definitely need to go crazy with the orange. I am so sorry. If that is wrong, please tell me the methods that you thick-haired boys use to block the orange. Okay, so now that I kind of have it on like a clown psychopath, I take my little white sponge. I've been raving about these triangle sponges lately, okay? Honestly, fuck a beauty blender. These things are where it's goddamn at. I love a triangle sponge. Just spring. I cannot remember what episode of Drag Race it was, but there was one scene where on the runway, RuPaul just went, "Where was the blending?" And that has lived in my head rent-free, and literally every time I do my makeup, I think about that. So I am always trying to blend the best of my abilities. It's down a little bit, right down. It looks like I am properly oranged out now. Let me confirm with the mirror. All right, so while the orange is baking in, these eyebrows are ready to be pressed with some powder. So you want to find, at least I have been told, white setting powder is the move. Setting powder. I remember when I first started drag and people were like, all right, now you take your powder and you go like that. I'm like, what fucking powder, bitch? I don't know. There's so many different types of powder. So this is a white setting powder, not translucent, because translucent, at least for me and my thick ass eyebrows, doesn't cover it well enough. So it's all about the white setting powder. This brand that I bought recently from Ulta, it looks like it is, can you see that, y'all? Laura Mercier, and it is secret brightening powder for under eyes. Yep, according to the label. Read it and weep. So that's what I've been using. So another, again, white sponge. Get it nice and doused with some white powder, and then we're just gonna pack that shit in real good, right? Yep. Oh yeah. These brows will be covered, bitch. Real rambunctious like really just blend that shit. Good. Want the brows to be covered. And then I guess I'm also putting this shit on my sideburns. So let's do that as well, I guess. This feels wild, that's all I can say. So the fact that none of my hairs are coming up right now is really good. That means I used enough glue, and this should, in theory, fingers, toes, and pussies crossed, be a successful eyebrow coverage. This is right here, but it's all part of the process. Now that you've successfully gotten setting powder literally everywhere, we're gonna wipe away the excess. I use one of these big old brushes. It's very random. I don't know if this brush has a name. I just use this big ass one and I'm like, all right, goodbye, excess setting powder. And then for eyebrows, we kind of want to wipe in this direction so it all stays where we want, but then the crazy excess goes away. And I'm just gently like, whoop, just to get that messy extraness out. So now the brows are glued and set, the beard is orange, it's time for foundation. I personally have been using for a while now, I would say probably the last year, this CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear 3-in-1 Foundation 24-hour full coverage. Full coverage is important. I love a full coverage. It's got this red pinkish cap. Apparently I'm using 817 Golden Natural for my skin tone. It makes my face a little lighter, but I definitely think it's the right skin tone for me, although I have been tanning this summer, so let's see what happens. So I will just take a little bit, pump it into like the small of my hand right here, and then I use a brush that's like this. It's kind of flat but also kind of large. I don't know, maybe that's I don't know, that's just the brush I use. So then I will take it, get it nice in there, get a good amount, and then do or die time. Will the eyebrow coverage work? I'm just gonna go whoop right up in there. Oh yeah. Get it real nice and good. Foundation, baby. Foundation everywhere. Work. Get it on my forehead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's looking like the brows are gonna be covered, so let's hope and pray here when I blend it out in a moment. Ooh, now a question. Do I put foundation over these hairs? I guess I do, don't I? Since I'm treating it like covered hair. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. Let's see what happens. All right. This part I will use a beauty blender for. Let's blend her out. Cover shell. All right, now it is time to draw on some completely new eyebrows. In order to do that, I'm using this particular time in this video, some colors from this Beauty Gems palette. How pretty. So I'm gonna use this really tiny kind of brush, right? And we're gonna use this one to start, and I'm gonna start with the outline. So AKA the darker color. So I like to start the eyebrow at the start of a natural brow. It'll help because a lot of drag queens will draw their eyebrows like way the fuck up here, including me when I first started, and that's not particularly what you want to do. So I'm going to use some of my real brow that's covered as a guide of where it's going to go. So I kind of do a curved, like diagonal shape until I reach the top of my real brow that's covered. And that is where I will kind of round it off. So I've kind of rounded it off to a point there. And then for the top ledge, I'll kind of just go not too far, because we don't want it to be too crazy thick, a little bit above on my real eyebrow line again. We'll go a little bit above to connect it. So that's the new eyebrow. Now we're just gonna fill it in with a slightly lighter color. I am gonna use this brush that's a little bit more angled, but still nice and tiny, because I'm basically just gonna be like blot, 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 blot. And I am going to, so I used this shade here as the darker outside, and I'm now going to use this color as the inside fill. So now as I'm filling this brow in, I'm sort of going along the bottom edge as well to kind of blend them together so it isn't such a hard edge, but you can still visibly see that it's an outline, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of just lightly sort of going over the work I already did to enhance the brow of it all. So that's one new brow, yay! Now comes the real challenge of doing a second one that is symmetrical. In theory, it should be pretty easy, right? Because I laid out such nice guidelines of how to do the arch and everything. Well, they might be cousins, not sisters. Okay. I'm suspicious and cautiously optimistic. No, I think they're decent, right? Symmetrically, I think they're all right. We're gonna find out. Let's fill it in. What do we think? I think the eyebrows are decent, right? Right? Maybe this one's a little thicker, but I bet we can cover that up. All right, now that I have new eyebrows on, I am going to get my eyes ready by putting a bunch of white, essentially, so that way my colors pop and the white underlayer is already there. So I have been using, what brand is this? I don't know, it doesn't overtly say, but this one, Pro Conceal HD High Definition White. That's it. I've got a couple tubes of these, and that's what I've been using, and this brush that's kind of smaller and flatter. So what I'll do is I'll push it, make sure it's really up there, Scoop a little on my brush, get a good glob, right? And then we'll just go. Oh yeah, let's get that white, baby. Put your on there real good. Nice on his brows. A little bit down here maybe. Kind of getting that general shape that I'm gonna have, right, with my eyes. Okay, and now that that's everywhere, new white sponge, and we're gonna just smooth that out, blend it out, blend it out, blend it out, blend it out right now. Real nice and white, real sharp with the brows. Might be the exact shape I want, so it's all there. It's all set as a process, right? Check this out here. There we go, and I think that helps. That helps fix my eyebrow a little bit too, because I covered up a little bit of the original line, and then I'll go back over and kind of outline it again. Right. White. So now let's go ahead and get some white on the other eye. Okay, now that I have a bunch of white under the eyes, I have to choose what color scheme I want to go with. I am kind of feeling purple, so literally what I'm going to do now is just go through basically every palette I have and find shades of purple that I possibly want to do. All right, so now that I know I want to do kind of a purple look, I'm going to start by cutting the crease with a really dark color. So I have chosen, I have this little purple palette. I don't know the brand. Oh, it's Jeffree Star Cosmetics Bloodlust. It was given to me by a friend, so pretty cool. And it looks like a little coffin. It's got all these cool colors. So I am gonna use Blood Queen as my cut crease shape. So it's gonna be real nice and dark. So I will usually start about, okay. Ooh, this is gonna be a risk doing this on my phone. I will usually start about right here, and we're just gonna follow my natural crease up. And then once we get about halfway here, we're gonna sort of curve down and out. Kind of that wing shape, you know? Okay, I think we've got a good shape going here. Let's replicate on the other side. Okay. So this one's obviously a little thicker because I messed up, but that's really easy to fix. We will just simply recover it with the tiniest little bit of white. Kind of correct what we went wrong. Oh yeah, see? Much more even. And then we'll give that a real quick little blend, just to kind of make it a little easier to work on here. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Work. So now I think I will start with the lightest shade. I am going to use, from the same palette, Vivid Mood, this purple right here. It's nice and light comparatively, and this time I'm going to use a brush that's a little bit thicker to really kind of pack it in, because it's the lightest color, so I'm gonna pack the darker on top to blend it. So we're gonna start with a nice thick bunch of that purple, right? And we're just gonna boop, boop, boop. Here we go, bitch. It is giving purple. Sometimes with drag especially, it looks like it's gonna be a mess. And I'm like, there's no way this is gonna turn out. But you kind of just have to trust in the process, you know? And hope that you did it right, because now that we're adding some color and kind of taking away some of the streakiness, I feel like it's all gonna be okay. Get down here. Where? Now let's fill in the other side. And so I'm sort of trying to make this like winged shape here. I'm just using the bottom of the cut crease as a guide, and then also giving myself a little bit of a wing, because we want that sharp, drastic drag eye, baby. And look at that, that's giving symmetrical, honestly. This is a serve. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be some good makeup, actually. Still excited to hear, you know, critiques and criticisms. But so far, we're looking great. So now, using that same brush, I'm gonna pack on some sparkly bits. And I have got this ColourPop All Amethyst palette, pressed powder palette. And I think it's gonna be good. So I am looking at this color here called Trigonal. It's nice and sparkly, very similar shade of purple to the one I already put on. Let's see how that goes. And I'm kind of just doing it in a V towards the beginning, because that's where the sparkles, I want them to like pop, pop, pop. Also kind of using it as an opportunity to blend a little bit better here. Oh yeah, see that's good. Kind of made it a little straighter. Work. And then, you know what I think I'm actually gonna do is take this same sparkle color in a smaller brush and apply it on top of the cut crease. You know what? I actually think this color is too dark. I need to get lighter. Let's try the one next to it called High Grade. It's a little bit lighter. I think that might be the move, since that's a little dark. There we go. Kind of just giving it a little bit more of a highlight shape and whatnot. I might go back in there and blend out that crease even better too. Same deal, I'm gonna take another sparkly purple, take the crown, and I'm going to put that on under. We love a sparkly purple moment. I probably could have even gone lighter. I have a palette that would be perfect for this. This is a beautiful palette. It's an Animal Crossing palette, and that sparkly purple I think is the moment. We're gonna put that on instead. Let's see. There we go. Really sparkle out under the eyes there, huh? Nice, beautiful, sparkly purple. Because I don't want to draw bags under my eyes, you know? So, there we go. And then I will blend this out later with foundation and whatnot. All right, so now let's do the eyeliner. when it comes to eyeliner, I do it differently pretty much every time I get into drag. I've done like liquid pens, liquid markers, liquid brushes, and this time particularly, I'm gonna try just straight eyeshadow, because when it's wet and I blink, it like gets up here and it ruins the makeup, and that is not fun. So this time I'm gonna try doing entirely eyeshadow. And I'm gonna use this black here from this giant Morph X James Charles palette, because it is just black. So I'm gonna use a nice small brush again and kind of get where I want it to go. Let's try this eye first. All right, shake, 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 this side. Move. Right. Yeah. Okay, now that we have the shape on both sides, I'm gonna fill it in using this color here. Executioner. It's got a little bit of purple sparkle in it, and I've decided, hey, what the hell, why not? Okay, there it is. I like doing it in eyeshadow because now I don't have to worry about the weird like blinking thing, and it's not gonna like be a problem when I blink. Okay, so I definitely like where this is going so far. We just have to, you know, trust in the vision. Now that the bulk of the eyes are done, I'm going to do contour, highlight, blush, basically the whole rest of the face. So let's get into that. Let's start with highlight. I have been using this bad boy for a very long time. It is e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer Matte Finish, and it's in a relatively off-white color. I use this for the highlight cream part. We're gonna do some of this under the eyes, for sure, in this area, and this will kind of help make that white go away. Bridge of the forehead, faux show. Ooh, we're running out, honey, we are running out. We gotta get some more. And kind of the beard line. And then can't forget the Cupid's bow. I'm tempted to do some on my nose, but I also kind of want to do a white nose. I think we're gonna do a white nose. Nah, let's do some of this. Nah, white nose. And now that it's in place everywhere we want it, white sponge, remember her. Get rid of the eyes. What the hell is this sound? And if I put too much on here, it's very easily correctable. So I'm not too worried about that. Oh, yeah, okay, so now we highlighted. Let's get some contour. Oh, look at that. Similarly, I've been using e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish, and it's pretty dark, so it's gonna blend. It blends dark. So for this one, I go a little bit easier. All right, so we'll get the hairline. Boop, 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 boop. We will get cheek. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. And we will get under, neck, jawline. Ooh. Painting is sculpting baby. So this one you got to be careful because you don't want to paint on a beard. You want to get under the jaw to give that like shadow of a more chiseled like oof. But not a beard. Not a beard. Okay. Appears that I kind of did a little too much contour on this side, so I'm gonna even that out with some more of that sweet, sweet highlighter liquid. Now I like liquid blush. Add a little skin color to this craziness, right? I'm also thinking Beauty Blender for this. Yes, helps add a little bit more fleshness to it. Much better, much better. Okay, so now we're getting there, ladies. We're getting there. I think we need to contour and highlight the nose. So I hyped up doing a white nose, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. A white nose. So we're gonna take some white, and we're just gonna go whoop, right down the middle. Cannot forget about our friend White Sponge. Blend. Okay, so now for the powder contour, I kind of use different shit every time. Today I'm doing Revolution HD Pro Powder Contour, and I'm gonna use this nice brown color, this nice angled brush, and we're gonna see what happens. So I use this. So the liquid one is nice and dark, but it's also a little orange. So I kind of use this to clean up a little bit of that oranginess and just blend. So we'll get the hairline. I'll take a little bit of the cheese, nothing crazy. Just a little bit here. Emphasize a little bit more, get a little less orange. Okay, so the nose. Let's make the nose even more. Right, take the nose. Take the jaw. Got jaw lightly. Now for highlighter, I use this very sparkly white Revolution Makeup Revolution London. It's just in its own little package here. Nice and white. Let me open that. Yeah, nice and sparkly. It looks like beach waves. So I'll use this nice brush here, get a healthy amount on there, and we'll just do some like, oh yeah, sparkle, bitch. Sparkle. We gonna shine like a diamond, bitch. Get the nose. Oh yeah, sparkly nose, sparkly nose. Hit this area a little bit, right? Corners too big. Yes! Sparkly. Switching to a smaller brush so I can get some of this nice sparkly highlight on my eyes up here. Slightly noticeable difference. I'll take it. So in addition to liquid blush, I like to use a little bit of powder blush too to kind of emphasize that color a little bit. So I have, unfortunately, the label has rubbed off. I've used it so much, so I can't tell you what brand it is, but it is 01 Dulce Pink Baked Powder Blush. So crack that open, nice color, big brush, healthy amount, and just kind of, woohoo, yeah, baby. Pink it up them cheeks. Make that color pop. Teeny bit on the temples, just a little bit. We are getting close to done here, ladies and gentlemen. We just got to do some lips, some lashes, and then I'm gonna go put on a wig and a look, and we're gonna see how it all comes together. All right, so at the end here, some Milani Make It Last setting powder. Make sure we get a little bit of that on, right? Seal the deal. Bake the cake a little bit. And then I also like to hit myself with some setting spray. Whew. Let's do some lips. I got some lip liner and some lipstick. On here. This. And here's the results. I'm telling you, wig, lashes, lips, nails, jewelry, titties, it all makes a difference. So here's the look, baby. As I said, not a makeup tutorial. This video was just so I could show how I do my makeup and my drag, and y'all can compliment it, roast it, teach me, educate me, you know, whatever, seeking constructive criticism. Like I said, I know my makeup is not bad, like, bitch, I feel good, but I feel like there's always room for improvement. So let me know.